Good evening, I'm Greg Sharpe. Here is tonight's Sports Ticker. Husker softball's amazing streak of 18 consecutive wins has caught the attention of all the polls. D1 softball has the Huskers at number 21, and the National Fast Pitch Coaches Association has the Big Red at number 25. NU is back in action Friday at Wisconsin, first pitch at 5. Husker baseball's Cody Frank was named today as the Big Ten's Pitcher of the Week. The senior righty threw 6 2/3 shutout ball last Thursday in Nebraska's 1-0 win over BYU. Frank only allowed 1 hit and had 7 strikeouts. Big Ten baseball today, Rutgers continues their hot stretch. They blasted Iona 19-1. Maryland beat Townsend in 10 innings, 4-3. Northwestern 8, St. Louis 5. They're in the top of the ninth. Top of the third, Marshall leads Ohio State 4-1. Bottom of the third, Indiana State on top of Illinois 3-0. Oakland leads Michigan State 1-0 in the first. It is Miami of Ohio over Indiana 9-6 in the fifth inning. St. Thomas and Minnesota just underway. Same thing with Purdue, Illinois, Chicago, and Bradley against Iowa. Afternoon Major League Baseball finals. Game 1 of a doubleheader. Washington beat Arizona 6-1. Also, it was the Mets and Giants playing 2 at Citi Field. New York beats San Francisco 5-4 in 10 innings, and it's the Yankees leading the Tigers 2-0 in the top of the first. 3 NBA playoff games tonight, including the Miami Heat against the Atlanta Hawks. They'll be tipping off at the bottom of the hour. That's the ticker. I'm Greg Sharpe.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who reminds you to buckle up and put the phone down.
1-1, the count to Ibarra. 1 out. Peace delivers. Ibarra swings and hits a high fly ball. Right field and deep. Evans all the way back, but it's gone. Cami Ibarra with her 8th home run of the year.
2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. Another 1-2-3 inning for Cody Frank.
Levitt's first one. And Glatter swings and lets a high fly ball. Left center and deep. It's gone and we're tied. Grand slam Glatter. We're tied at 8.
The 2-1 pitch. Anderson lifts one in the air to right. That's hit well. Backing up to Sapiti. He's to the wall and it is gone. Max Anderson busts loose with a solo shot to right.
1 on, 1 out for Maya Felder. First one to Maya. She swings and blasts it. Deep left center field. And it is gone. It's gone. The Huskers have taken the lead. They've come back from the dead down 7 and take the lead in the 6th.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
Thank you. Welcome to our show. Full 2 hours coming your way here tonight. Glad you're with us here on what is still a chilly night here in Lincoln. I know some of you folks out west, I'm jealous today. I think parts of the western part of the state got up into the low 80s. We are not that here. It is cold outside. I have not been warm all day. I can't warm up.
I know I had to turn the heater on in my apartment, but I'm looking at the weather, and it's saying 73 tomorrow, 77 on Thursday, 88 on Friday, so.
About time.
Maybe the warmth is coming.
I know Andrew likes his cold stuff. I do not. I'm ready for warm springtime temperatures coming our way tonight. Last night was a great show. I hope everybody had a chance to hear Trav Alberts, our monthly sit-down with the athletic director. We covered a lot of topics. We obviously wrapped up the spring football season and ripping up the turf out there, and they're making great progress on that thing. I guess they have to. The chancellor says he wants it for graduation. You better make sure it's done.
Yes, which is why you move up spring football and you get it all in the books and you move that thing along. I can't wait to see the time-lapse video of it, of how quickly it moved and how it all went out. Because you had mentioned it one night on the show. Have you gone out there? And it looks weird. It kind of looks like an ice skating rink from up top because, I mean, it was just all concrete, all white down there. And then, but apparently the turf is in. They're just kind of putting it all in place now. So I need to go look at it.
He also had a pretty interesting update on the Go Big project about how it was initially going to be $150. With inflation and some price costs, it's gone up to $160. And as he said, he goes, we're going to bond $50 million of that. So they have to raise $110. And he says, we're close. We're over about $105,000 now. So $105 million now. Incredible.
Yeah, and when we had Maddie Burkhart on the other day, she had talked about that, about how people have been eager to help and chip in, and it's just going to be huge. I mean, you heard Trev saying it is a big deal for football, but all the athletes are going to be benefited from this facility because of the training table, all of the different elements that are going into it. And it's like crazy because you come every single day and it seems to have grown, expanded, something new that they've put in. They're making good progress on it. It seems like every day something new is you can see.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to start seeing walls go up, I think, before too long, where they're actually it's going to look more, I mean, the steel is pretty much in place, I think, so probably in the next month or so, we're going to actually start seeing, I think, some siding going up on that.
Yeah,
thing.
I'm wondering, so this is not, we're still going to have this open space here, right?
Yeah.
They're going to come right up to our studio.
We're still going to be able to see the side of the building out this window here. But you think about that, Jessica, if it's going to open next July, you're talking about 15 months away. This thing's going to be open.
And once you kind of start seeing significant progress, you can use it for recruiting now, and they've been using the renderings and all of that, and you can see it now that it's massive, and you can show, hey, this is what you're going to be able to play in. But when you start being able to kind of go into it a little bit and start seeing the things that are going to be in place there, what a huge recruiting tool.
For all sports, again, because everybody, it's primarily football, but all the sports are going to have their academic wing in there. The training table is going to be in there. So they're going to all athletes are going to spend a lot of time in that building.
Absolutely. And you and I have talked a lot about it, and being able to go down to the training table and seeing all the melting pot of all the different sports and athletes that all hang out in there. And it really contributes to the overall feel of this athletics department and the student athlete and the student body atmosphere, and how close-knit they are. And they have friends from other sports and all go out and support each other. And a lot of that starts at the training table. And so Dave Ellis, I know, has been talking about they need more room, they need more space, they need more to do what he does. And Nebraska's been at the forefront and has set the table, and no pun intended, for nutrition from the start, from the get-go, and from Tom Osborne to where it is now. They continue to be one of the leaders in that area, and Dave needs that, needs that space, needs all those resources to be able to continue to do that.
One interesting call last night for Trev was somebody said, we have so many football trophies, conference championship trophies, bowl trophies. The guy said, I hope you're going to leave space over there that the public can come in and see all the trophies. You can kind of do that in North Stadium now. You can see the national championship trophies in there. Some of the bowl trophies are in there. And Trev said, yeah, we're trying to work all of that out. We're trying to figure out the logistics of where things are going to go. So I know they're still having meetings about all those type of things. But it was a fabulous show last night.
Yeah, it was. And I like how Trev's willing to answer any question of anybody that calls in or texts in. I mean, he's open to, he wants to be accessible and be transparent, and that's what he said from the start. From his opening press conferences is what he said, to the media. It's what he said to us when he meets with the staff behind closed doors, that he wants to be open and honest and transparent. And I think it shows on his shows when he comes in here every month as well.
Yeah, I hope people appreciate it, because in a lot of places the athletic director doesn't make themselves that available to the public. So I hope you folks enjoyed that last night. We'll have one more, then we do give him the summer off. We don't do athletic director shows in June or July, so a couple months off, but we do have one more month with him. He'll be in here. Mention this in the ticker. Finally, Husker softball has cracked all the polls. There's like 4 or 5 different softball polls. They're in every one of them, as high as 19-1. D1 softball, which is maybe my go-to one, because I don't think they have agendas like the coaches' polls do. I think D1 softball is people that cover the sport, that really try to analyze it. They have them at 21. The coaches did get them at 25. Long overdue and well-deserved for that group.
But do the D1 softball, is that considered when you go into for the committee when they're...
I think they look at all of them.
Okay.
I think they spreadsheet all of them. I think they still really look at the RPI a lot.
Yeah, which Nebraska's up to 27 in the RPI.
There you
so
go.
That's good. You keep moving on up that RPI. But yeah, I mean, I think you and I were talking a little bit yesterday about, you never know, some coaches, maybe it helps them to have certain teams ranked.
Oh,
it
yeah.
helps their RPI if they beat a team that's in the rankings. And how can they possibly pay attention to everything across the country to be able to be fully knowledgeable about the teams that they're voting for? There's no way they have time to follow. And then, we got a text about when will the ladies be on TV or radio more. I mean, the exposure of college softball, even though there's a lot of it, I mean, I still think there's a lot more room for a lot more coverage of college softball, especially on the Big Ten level, being that most of it is streamed and it's not always on Big Ten Network. So that being said, how can coaches really see and evaluate these teams to the basis of being able to actually vote them where they should go in the rankings?
Yeah, for Patrick and North Platte, every Big Ten game, and that's all they have left, is on BTN Plus. So if you're not subscribing, you might want to do it. I think it's $10 a month or something like that.
Yeah, I think it's like $9.99 or something.
And you can cancel it as soon as the season's over, so you don't have to pay during the summer months when you may not use it at all. But because they're now in conference game, all of those, so they'll be at Wisconsin this weekend, at Ohio State next weekend, home with Indiana the following weekend. All those games would be streamed on BTN Plus.
That is one thing that I talked with Marquita Armstead about when she was on last week about the more exposure for women's sports. And women's basketball is one of those. We had that question during women's basketball season as well, as why are these games not on the streaming like the Big Ten Network or Fox Sports 1, any of those? Why are they just on the Plus platforms? And I think the problem is too is that you can subscribe to Nebraska, but if Nebraska goes on the road, then it's underneath that school's streaming platform. So that's one of the issues I think that Marquita is going to talk to, and even Megan Kahn with the Big Ten Network is going to make a push for that as well, to try to put these women's sports, get them more exposure. And I think softball should also be in that conversation as well.
So the Huskers on the road this weekend, and that will help the RPI. Road wins give you a little bit more of a boost than home wins, so the next 6 on the road for that team.
And Wisconsin's good.
And Wisconsin's got a good RPI, and Ohio State's isn't bad. So a chance if they can go win both of those series is I think they can really climb up there. But I think they got a shot at hosting. I
was told that it was going to be tough for them to be able to host. But I think the more that they keep winning and climbing, if they keep performing like they're performing, it's going to be really hard for them to be denied.
I agree. Top 16 host, and sometimes some schools don't have the ability to host it. Their facilities aren't good enough. So even if if you're between 16 and 20, you still have a shot of maybe hosting as a 2 seed and not a 1.
And I do feel like even for some of these seedings and where they go, I think probably attendance will play into it too. Are you going to have people there to watch and support? And obviously Nebraska is going to have that, which also I appreciated Trev last night saying, hey, let's break a record.
Attendance. Yeah, absolutely. That Indiana series in 2 weeks is when so the next 2 weekends on the road. Then that first weekend of May, they will be home with Indiana. Last chance to see that team in the regular season. But I'm not giving up hope that they can be a regional host. I think the way they are trending, 18 in a row is just remarkable. And I don't care who you're playing, but most of those have been league games. They've been able to get this 18-game winning streak going. So it's just a remarkable story. You're going to have more on softball coming up on Thursday.
Yes. Yep. We're going to have Sydney Gray on, as well as Rhonda Ravel. We haven't had her on the show in a while, so we'll talk lots of softball. Plus, Bree Cassidy, who played here from 2016 to 2019, she now works for Open Doors. So got to talk to her about the softball team, but then also all the NIL stuff happening. But yeah, I think too with softball, if you win the regular season and then you go on to make some noise in the Big Ten tournament, maybe you play Northwestern, who's very, very high in the RPI. Right. That would also help. If you can play Northwestern, would definitely help the RPI as well.
They don't play them because you can't play everybody in the league. There's too many teams and not enough weekends.
But I'm saying if they meet up in the tournament, that would be helpful.
I'm just saying that would really boost them up there. We've got softball on Big Ten Network right now. Michigan State playing a little midweek doubleheader. Michigan leading Michigan State 3-0. This is like what Nebraska did last week with Iowa coming over here to play before the thunderstorm finished off the last. They didn't quite finish the last game, but they had a complete game. They were into the 6th inning for that. You mentioned NIL. Later in the show, we're going to have Chuck Schmelka, Husker men's gymnastics coach. And by the way, great performance by them down in Norman over the weekend. They finished 4th in the country. Stanford ran away with it. Stanford's got about half their team as U.S. Olympic team members. And we're seeing that in both the men's and women's gymnastics. But because of NIL, these kids are leaving the Olympic teams and coming back to college and competing at college.
Yeah, it's hard to deny the fact that potentially women's gymnastics, college women's gymnastics, the sport has benefited the most from NIL, because a lot of times, or most of the time before this NIL thing happened, those athletes that competed for the Olympic team didn't come to college because they wanted to be able to make money on endorsements, on their name, image, and likeness. But now that they're able to do that, and you saw in the Final Four, the four on the floor is what they call it, Suni Lee, who's the gold medalist all-around gymnast from the Olympics, was with Auburn. They were in the Final Four. Utah had an Olympian. They had UCLA had an Olympian, and then Oregon State also had an Olympian. And they were all at the national championships as well, individually or with the team. But ESPN also put out a tweet that of any sport that they post on social media about, the most interactions was with collegiate women's gymnastics. And a lot of that is because of those Olympians, and they're all freshmen, so they're going to be here for 4 years.
Right.
And then you get another cycle of Olympians that are probably going to now go to college because they can make money off of that. So usually with college gymnastics, women's college gymnastics, you might have one or two good teams that maybe compete, maybe it's close, but this year, all four, it was the closest competition they've had really probably ever between four teams. And a lot of that is because of those Olympians, and they all went to different teams.
Right.
And so it amped up that competition.
Where in the men's side, they navigated towards Stanford, and so Stanford dominated the men's thing. So we're going to ask Chuck when he comes in next hour about that. Really proud of the Huskers. They finished fourth, sixth straight time they've made the finals. That's really good and good work by the program. So Chuck coming up in hour number 2. Also in hour number 2, we're going to talk about Aces Place. That's the new playground out at Bowling Stadium for Husker softball. A former Husker softball athlete and a former Husker football player got married. Their child tragically died after going to a Husker softball game one day, and it's a sad, sad story, but they built this playground in the honor of that child. You had a chance to talk to the two parents. We're going to hear that story coming up in the second hour as well. Coming up here in a few minutes, Tony Watson, the former Husker pitcher, retired from Major League Baseball yesterday after an 11-year career. He was an all-star in 2014 with the Pittsburgh Pirates, made the World Series with the Dodgers a couple of years ago, was a great Husker pitcher on those teams in 05, 06. For Nebraska, even I think his last year was 07. He got drafted in 07. So Tony Watson coming up here in just a little bit. Time to tell you to buckle up, put that phone down. It's a reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. You want to be a part of the show? Our number's 402-413-2400. Works for a call, works for a text. Back with Tony Watson next.
The game isn't just about winning or losing. It's about the snacks they share after they've used up all their energy in the field. It's the early morning practice before school and staying late after to get a couple more kicks in. It's the pride they feel for their team and the determination to always keep improving. Sure, the game isn't always about winning or losing, but when they've won the big game and celebration is in full swing, there's only one thing left for you to do. Get them home safe. Buckle up in back. Paid for by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Monday nights are now famous for something else. Powerball. That's right, Powerball is adding Monday nights to the lineup so you have more days to play. Plus, with a starting jackpot in the millions, you don't want to pass up this chance to score a bundle of money. Get pumped for Powerball with drawings Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday.
Powerball from the Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds 1 in 292 million.
Preparation. It's the key to success on game day. And like your favorite Huskers on the field, you need to be ready right from the opening kickoff. Cenex has your pregame routine covered. We've got your salty snacks, your sweet treats, ice-cold beverages to wash them down, and fresh tanks of propane to fire up the grill. Fuel your fandom at your local Cenex station. Husker Pride, powered locally.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it is safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief, nutrition, or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health. Find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Valley 365 is here, and the time is now to take your farming technology full circle. Valley 365 is the ultimate command center, the new single sign-on platform that brings together our tried and true technology and streamlines your entire operation. Combining the best features of AgSense, Valley Scheduling, Valley VRI, and Valley Insights, Valley 365 is the next-level solution for connected crop management. Leverage your data, make the most of your time, and own your tomorrow. Contact your Valley dealer today.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Huskers fans, it's time to plan your dream trip to Ireland and see your team face the Northwestern Wildcats at Aviva Stadium in Dublin, Ireland. Single game tickets are on sale now at huskers.com/Ireland. Start the 2022 season in the best way. Plan your dream trip to Ireland and see your team face the Northwestern Wildcats at Aviva Stadium in Dublin, Ireland. Buy your single game ticket today at huskers.com/Ireland.
Did you ever buy something and get more than you expected? Emeritus offers insurance, employee benefits, and financial services, but we deliver so much more. The comfort of a human voice when you need it, the confidence of flashing a beautiful smile, the relief that your family can keep living the life they love, the serenity of knowing you've planned well and can enjoy life. That's what we really deliver. We call it fulfilling life. Emeritus. Insurance, employee benefits, financial services, and much more.
You always dreamed of owning your own farm. Now you're living your dream, and it's time to pick the tractor that makes it all come together. Massey Ferguson has reinvented what compact and utility tractors can be and redefined what they do, making them easier to operate, more comfortable to drive, more versatile than ever. Massey Ferguson gives Nebraska farmers the power and performance to win in the field. Osceola Implement in Osceola, Nebraska, your locally owned Massey Ferguson dealer. Proud supporters of the Huskers and Nebraska farmers.
When you're a sports fan, it's kind of like having a new love interest. You want to know all about them. Only instead of learning about someone's third-grade crush, you want to know the latest scores, stats, and lineups. To get that, you need Cox Internet. Cox gives you that window to look deeply into your beloved team's soul. Not to mention their injury list. Cox, we're sports 24/7. Learn more at cox.com/sports.
From sprains and stitches to sore throats and sinus infections, when it's care that can't wait, count on CHI Health Clinic Priority Care. Simply walk in 7 days a week from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. You'll get the quality care you need without an appointment, and you'll never pay more than a regular primary care visit. Get in, get out, and get on with your day. Find a location near you at chihealth.com/priority care.
Everyone knows that Dakota Mac is known for their great rates on long-term fixed ag real estate loans. But just how long-term are they? They're even longer-term than the silent treatment your mom gave you after she found out you backed over her peony bushes with the riding lawnmower. Even though it could have happened to anyone. Oof, talk about long-term.
Hi, it's Nick Luxinger from Dakota Mac. Give me a call at 402-740-6445 to learn all about our competitive rates on 30-year fixed-rate loans.
Welcome back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center. It's sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. Well, what a treat for us tonight to visit with former Husker and 11-year Major League Baseball veteran Tony Watson, who yesterday announced his retirement from the game. Tony, great to have you with us. Congratulations on an amazing career.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me. It's always good to be back on the air with some Husker people and talking some sports back in Lincoln and Omaha area.
How tough was the decision for you to make?
Honestly, not as hard as I thought it was going to be. 11 years, it's been a great run. I mean, 15 years since I left Nebraska in 2007, and a lot of miles on the arm. And we got a 5 and a 7-year-old now, so they're all in activities and doing sports and school, and we're going on spring break, vacation, and so stuff that I wasn't able to experience with them in the past. And once the lockout hit and everything kind of shut down and we were just kind of in stall mode, it was really enjoyable to be around the kids and around the family and being with them and experiencing all that. So when we opened back up, some teams started calling, and mentally and physically, I just wasn't in a place to get out there to spring training, especially a short ramp up for spring training, a 4-week spring training that was going to be a challenge even if you were fully healthy and fully committed and ready to go. So once we started and I wasn't missing it as much, I knew it was time, and the body and the mind kind of told me, and it's time. It's time to go, and it seems like there's a lot of 21, 22-year-olds in the league anyway right now, so there's no room for 36, 37-year-olds. So it's time to make a decision, and I'm happy with it, and I know it's the right decision, and be home with the family and the kids and really enjoying it.
You know, you played for most of your career, almost all of it, in the National League, and I think a lot of us will remember your days with the Pirates. What was it like kind of coming up in that organization and breaking through with Pittsburgh?
Yeah, so they drafted me in 2007 out of Lincoln, and went right down here. We live in Sarasota, Florida now, and spring training's down here, still is. And so spent a lot of time down here at Pirate City. It's a complex down here, and the Pirates are a small market team, so they rely a lot on the development phase of their minor leaguers and bringing up their core guys through the system, because they can't go out and spend money on the big fish in the market. So it was really fun to get to know a lot of the guys. They create great culture down here, and we had a great time. We had a great run, and we had a little pocket of guys that kind of came through the system together, and all kind of debuted around the 2011, 2012 time, and then had a great run in Pittsburgh in 13, 14, and 15. I think we went to 3 straight wild cards, but the Cardinals beat us by a game or 2 each of those years in the division, and ran into the buzzsaw that was Madison Bumgarner in the 2014 playoffs, and then ran into Jake Arrieta in the 2015 playoffs. So it was in a 1-game playoff going against either of those guys. That what they were doing at that time was a real challenge, especially when you're not on a 3-game, 5-game, 7-game series. So we had great runs, and it was a lot of fun. A lot of talented players, some guys that are still playing around the league. But like I said, just the culture and how they brought us all up and created us into men first, but then baseball players, and how to win as a team and succeed at stuff that I took with me the rest of my career.
Did you have a hunch they were going to draft you, or were you totally in the dark on when the draft came around?
No, yeah, you're totally in the dark on the draft. So it's funny, I still talk to my scout that drafted me. We actually talked for a while yesterday. He's down in the Dallas area, and he works for the Yankees now. But he actually shared, hey, when you get a chance, I'd love to share a story how you became a Pirate. So I'm excited to see that one or hear that one. And but as I've gone through my career and talked to scouting directors and scouts and front office guys about how the draft works, I mean, it is just a total crapshoot. I mean, everybody's got their draft boards and where they slot guys, and everybody evaluates different. So, unless you're one of those top picks where you're getting, the first round money and you know where it's going, you maybe come to an agreement on a pre-draft deal. Everybody else is kind of in the dark.
Again, we're visiting with former Husker Tony Watson, who announced his retirement after 11 seasons in Major League Baseball yesterday. You were named to the All-Star team in 2014. What was that like?
That was surreal. I mean, walking in a clubhouse, first of all, seeing your name announced with those other superstars around the league, the peers that at the time I was still early in my career, especially my Major League career, so I was a little starstruck, but knowing that you belonged in that clubhouse and trusting that you deserve to be there with those guys. It was a great experience. It was Derek Jeter's last game in the All-Star game, so that was really cool, something I'll always remember. And Alex Gordon was there, so that was really cool. A couple of Huskers in there, and a guy I played with and went to school with in Lincoln. And then I actually just threw one pitch in that game, so that's something I'll always remember. I threw one pitch, and Jose Abreu popped it up, and that was my night, and that's kind of the life of a lefty reliever in a nutshell, and that's kind of how it went. And just guys that I met there, and the experience, the family was all there. It was in Minneapolis, so it was easy for the family to get up there and friends to get up there and experience it with me. So definitely a memory that I'll take with me forever.
Oh, that's fantastic. After your days with the Pirates, you then went out to the West Coast, Giants, Dodgers. What were those experiences like for you?
Yeah, so like I said with Pittsburgh, that's a small market team, and then you immediately go to LA, and LA's Hollywood. That's the lights. That's where it's all the action's at, and you got the movie stars and the singers and the artists and all the other athletes in the area that are coming to the games, and the stadium's huge, and so it was an adjustment for sure. But the biggest thing was I had some known relationships with some of the guys on that team, and that really helped ease the process. Especially with the move. I mean, when you get traded, it's not like fantasy where you just trade a guy and he's on the other roster. I mean, that does happen, but there's logistics with it. At the time, we had a 1-year-old boy and a 2-year-old daughter, and we were moving across the country. So logistically, it was a little stressful, and it took a little bit to get going. But at the time, the Dodgers, we were at a 50-game lead or something. They were just on a ridiculous run when I joined the clubhouse, and we ended up winning the division and had some success in the playoffs and went to the World Series and, ended up losing to the Astros in 2017 in 7 games. But got into a lot of those games, and, the thrill of throwing in a World Series or down the stretch of September playoff baseball where it's meaningful baseball, that's something that's what you play for. I mean, that's why you play every night and you get on, strap it on, because you're looking for a ring. Everybody's out there looking to win a ring, and we were there. We had 7 games, and the Astros unfortunately took it from us, but it was the memories. Those guys still keep in touch with a lot of them, and families got close because of those October baseball runs, and really enjoyed my time in LA. And then I went to San Francisco, and that was a first-class organization through and through. They had been through the success. A lot of those guys had won 3 rings in 5 years. I'd known a lot of them through even college ball, playing in the Cape Cod with a lot of them, and minor leagues, and you're coming through the ranks with them, and just respected a lot of those guys. But then just to see how they went about it, and they had come off a 97 loss season or 98 loss season, so it wasn't promising. But you know what? They were all in, and Bruce Bochy was our manager, and he's going to be a Hall of Fame manager, and it was a lot of fun playing for him and seeing how he went about it, and just watching those guys go about their day. And we had a very veteran team over there, so it was a lot of fun. A lot of similar age, similar service time guys that have been through around the league and bounced around and had a lot of success, had a lot of ups and downs. But, man, I'll take those memories and cherish those memories and those relationships for the rest of my life. And it's been a lot of fun to connect with those guys and their families over the last couple of days as this has kind of come out, and they kind of knew where I was and where I was in my career and what I was doing. But it's always fun to catch up with those guys.
Oh, that's great. Again, visiting with Tony Watson here on Sports Sunday. All right, I'm going to take you back to before you're probably even shaving. You're getting ready to figure out what college you wanted to go to. Walk me through the recruiting process. And was Rob Childress, was he a guy recruiting you for Nebraska at the time?
That's right. Yeah, Rob Childress, a man that I immensely respect. I actually talked to him and told him the same thing the other day. And some of the stuff that he taught me as he was recruiting me, I still take with it all the way through my career. And as I'm teaching my kids to, grow up in life, there's still stuff that I lean on that he taught us at Nebraska. And it was a pretty easy decision, honestly, once Nebraska called. And I think I went over to a Stars of Tomorrow camp my junior year. I think they still have that camp. But, that was a big deal for me. I was from a small town in Iowa, and I just played baseball when it was in season, and I enjoyed it, but wasn't really getting a ton of recruiting interest. And I remember Coach Anderson and Coach Childress were there. Coach Sawyers had just joined, Andy Sawyers, and threw a bullpen or threw a game, and I was getting on a plane to go to San Diego and meet some of my buddies for a select baseball tournament out there. That was the first time I was really leaving, and they said, hey, we'll give you a call back, and they started recruiting me heavily, and that was it. I mean, it's 2.5 hours from the house. They were College World Series contenders, coming off those back-to-back 01, 02 appearances. So that was just fresh in my mind, and I said, this is an easy decision. I always grew up rooting for the Huskers, and I'm from Iowa, but I was always a Husker fan. I was in a Cyclone or a Hawkeye, and it fit. It was a perfect fit. And when I went on my visit, met Coach Childress, got to know him, and meet some of the older guys that were going to be there, and it was a no-brainer.
We were reminiscing about you with Will Bolt last night, Tony, and he talked about, here's a future major leaguer who couldn't get in our weekend rotation for a year because of how stacked the staff was at that time. That was a glory day time for Husker baseball, wasn't it?
It really was. I mean, some of the names that they were rolling out there, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun to see those guys' success and their careers unfold, and it's always fun to keep in touch, and sometimes you'll bounce off some names with them and get chatting, and it's like, holy cow, we had a really, really good team there and a lot of fun. And like I said, it's all about togetherness and the culture. And at that time at Nebraska, we had a tremendous culture and tremendous togetherness. And honestly, the talent was off the charts, so that always helps too.
Well, Tony, again, thank you for reminiscing with us a little bit. We just wanted to reach out and congratulate you. 2.9 career ERA in the Bigs, the all-time Major League Baseball career leader in holds. That is something to really be proud of, and we're certainly proud of you, Tony.
I appreciate it, Greg. Thanks for having me on. It's always a pleasure.
There he is, former Husker and retired now from the Bigs after 11 wonderful years in the major leagues. Joining us on our Sports Nightly Hotline, which is brought to you by the Woodhouse Auto family. Shop Woodhouse first, 18 brands, 16 convenient locations, simplified car buying to save you time. Shop, finance, and buy online at woodhouse.com. We're back with more Sports Nightly next.
Show your style through every mile and get your Chevy your way. Discover the 2022 Silverado. From off-road adventures to navigating the city, this truck has the strength to take on what's next. A robust refresh gives the Silverado bold new looks and improved functionality. Plus, multiple trim levels ensure there is a Silverado that's strong enough to ride with you. Find new roads and explore all our inventory arriving daily at woodhousegm.com and at our dealership in Missouri Valley, Iowa.
A tradition of winning doesn't happen overnight. Like any team, you gotta be tough, play smart, and work hard. No one understands this more than Ford Motor Company. They built the best team in the game with Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks 45 years straight, the iconic Ford Bronco, and the most powerful Ford Explorer ever. Shop online at buyfordnow.com or visit your local Ford dealer to buy or custom build the perfect truck or SUV for you. Based on 1977 to 2021 calendar year total sales.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm journalism student Grace Fitzgibbon with Campus News. The university has a new undergraduate business and law major. Students majoring in business and law are learning to use legal knowledge to better solve business challenges. They are also gaining skills in regulatory compliance, financial services, securities regulation, and corporate social responsibility. Upon graduation, they will boost the state's talent pool in these critical areas of expertise.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. Everett swings and hammers one to deep left center field. That is trouble, and that is gone. Griffin Everett gets a hold of one to left center, and the Huskers get the lead right back on the 2-run shot.
Tomorrow, Nebraska baseball is taking on North Dakota State at Haymarket Park with first pitch set for 6:35 p.m. Central. Pre-game coverage on the Huskers radio network begins at 6. Tune into your local affiliate or at Huskers.com or by using the Huskers mobile app. Go Big Red.
Whether you compete on the court, at the track, on the field, or in the fields, winning isn't just a goal. It's a mindset, shaped, honed, and defined throughout the season. That's why farmers pushing themselves to be the best plant DeKalb brand corn. Wherever you compete, winning has roots. Perform at your best with DeKalb. Always read and follow grain marketing and all other stewardship practices and pesticide label directions.
Huskers, do you want a fulfilling career that's financially rewarding? Explore the many ways you can be a part of the insurance community. Go to iian.org/careers today. Business insurance is a lot to manage. Did you know a trusted choice independent insurance agent can help guide you through it at no extra cost to you? They'll do your insurance. You just do you. Find out more at trustedchoice.com.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Be a good day for her to lift one down the line again. Lecker to the line, the 1-0. Neal swings and blasts this one. Deep right field. Connor going back. It's gone. A grand slam for Caitlin Neal, and the Huskers lead 7-0. Nebraska softball heads to Madison to take on Wisconsin Friday. Pre-game coverage begins at 4:50. First pitch at 5 on the Huskers radio network, Huskers.com, and the official Nebraska Athletics app. Touchdown, Nebraska!
If you're doing business in Nebraska, the best way to connect your organization with the excitement surrounding the Huskers is through a partnership with Nebraska Athletics. You can take your business to the next level by reaching loyal Husker fans through in-venue signage, digital and social media, radio advertising, and more.
Got it!
Join the Husker team today and email partners@huskers.com to learn more about opportunities to connect with Husker Nation. That's partners@huskers.com.
There's always a reason to celebrate, and we are at Woodhouse Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Blair during the Jeep Celebration event. From the legendary 2022 Jeep Grand Cherokee to the redesigned new Jeep Compass, Jeep carries a lineup of capable SUVs built for modern adventures on and off-road. Don't miss out. Shop now during the Jeep Celebration event in-store in Blair or online at WoodhouseChryslerJeepDodge.com.
Nothing goes better with Husker sports than Fairbury. Fairbury, premium quality hot dogs deliver the home game experience to your family and friends. The highest quality beef, pork, and natural spices give you the best tasting hot dog and your hometown favorite Big Red hot dog. Look for Fairbury hot dogs all year long at your local grocery store. Fairbury, the official hot dog of the Huskers and Nebraska fans everywhere.
At Great Western Bank, they understand what commitment to community means. It's more than setting up shop. For Great Western Bank, commitment means growing together and serving their communities. With more than 50 locations in Nebraska, they are dedicated to making life great. Thank you, Lincoln, for allowing them to be a part of this great community. Great Western Bank, member FDIC.
Momentum. It's building at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. With game-changing work in precision agriculture, nanoscience, and digital humanities. We're unlocking mysteries in brain research, solving the impossible with remote surgery using robots. And we're creating bold futures with world-leading research in early childhood education. We don't slow down, and we're not letting up. We are Nebraska.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, it's sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you here on a Tuesday night. Here on Sports Nightly, 402-413-2400, the number to dot us up with a comment or question. We got a lot going on here tonight. We've got Major League Baseball, we've got NBA playoffs, we've got college softball going on. I kind of like this. We got all kinds of different things.
Yeah, whatever your liking is, it's on tonight.
Are you a big NBA playoff fan?
Yes, absolutely. That's when I really like to dive in.
I know your Thunder didn't make it.
No, they didn't. Hopefully they'll draft well. I have some people that are hoping maybe Bryce McGowan's somehow ends up with the Thunder. But
that would be cool.
They have to work out perfectly for that, because I think he would have to fall. You know how the draft is. It has to, how it all works out and who goes where and whatnot. Right. But no, I really like watching the playoffs. That's when I get all into it.
I really don't watch the regular season, but I will start watching the playoffs. I do watch it.
I'll watch the Thunder, but other than that, that's about the only team. I won't watch just regular season games of other teams.
You mentioned Bryce McGowan's. Alonzo Verge got to go to that college kind of classic thing out in, I think it's Portsmouth, New Hampshire. He did pretty well.
Yeah.
He did really well.
Yeah, and really not surprised, because he came on at the end and settled into his role and figured out kind of what he needed to do to be able to run a team and manage a team. But I don't know if he was playing point or if he was playing off the ball.
Looked like he was. He was getting a lot of assists.
Yeah,
so it looked like he was.
I think he probably carried over what he had kind of figured out at the end of the season into that probably.
Don't think he's an NBA player, but he can make money somewhere.
Absolutely. I mean, there's pro leagues and teams everywhere, and the Americans, you can usually carry two, depending on the league, wherever you play overseas. But there are some really lucrative leagues that you can go play overseas and make some really good money, and especially if you're selected as the American on that team, one of two Americans, you can really bring in some great money.
Well, we'll be following him. Obviously, Bryce McGowan's still waiting on some announcements from Brother Trey. You also got Lad Mann that have not made their declarations yet. Are they coming or going?
Yeah, and recruiting is hot and heavy right now. They got some...
The clock's ticking, right?
Recruits coming in. I know that's been a big emphasis. They've had...
Well, they had somebody at the spring game.
Yes, and then they got, I think, someone coming in this weekend. And so... recruiting is moving along, and even not just for this coming year, but for, the next few years as to how recruiting goes. But yeah, you're going to have to make some decisions here pretty soon.
The Husker volleyball team had a little press gathering here within the last hour. They're getting ready for that spring exhibition match, which will be Saturday out in Grand Island. It's sold out. It'll be a 5 o'clock or 5:15, I guess, first serve for that. They'll be playing the Kansas Jayhawks. The result of that really doesn't matter. It's an exhibition. It's a chance to get out, go. In fact, they're going to go out Friday. They're going to treat it like a road trip a little bit, go out and spend the night out there. You're hoping to catch up with one of the members before they go out there.
Yeah, hoping on Thursday night that Lindsay Krause will be able to join us here in studio live. So if you have questions for her, get those in. And, so we can pump up that match. But didn't they released what the format's going to be,
They're
right?
going to play all 5 sets regardless of who's winning.
Yep.
So they can mix and match and do that kind of thing.
And give a full show for all the fans that show out there.
Which is good.
But I think, and you and I had talked about this just with Lindsay being a Nebraska kid and how important this is to have this match not in Lincoln and give other fans from across the state a chance to see this team that might not otherwise have that opportunity.
She, I think, has a chance to take a bigger role on that team in the fall. Lexi's now gone. Lauren Siverns is gone. I mean, there's an opportunity for Lindsay, I think, to be a bigger component of that team.
She played so well at the end of the season.
Sure did.
She kind of came on as well as Allie Batenhorst. And so, yeah, I think both of those two could really maybe take off next season.
And I'm told that we are going to be soon having another edition of Kicking Back with the Cooks.
Yes.
In the next couple of days.
Yes. I think we're recording that tomorrow.
Okay.
So,
all right. So be looking for that.
That'll be fun.
Be looking for that.
Always good nuggets coming out of that.
We can have more saddles in the shower or whatever.
Who knows?
That was.
I mean, you could probably pick something and it's not even close to but there's always some golden nugget that comes out of that that's just a great story.
Just crazy. But yeah, that'll be fun. John Baylor, for whatever reason, scheduled a vacation this week, so he will not be on the call, but our jack of all trades, Matt Coody, will be with Lauren Cook West for the call of that match at GI on Saturday. We'll have it here on the Huskers Radio Network. Our Sports Nightly hotline, it's open for you, 402-413-2400 with a call or a text. It's brought to you by the Woodhouse Auto Family. Shop Woodhouse first. 18 brands, 16 convenient locations. Simplified car buying to save you time. Shop finance. Buy online at woodhouse.com. Back with our final segment of Hour 1 next.
Want to get all the latest Husker news straight to your phone? Need to be the first of your friends to get the scoop on all things Huskers? Sign up for text alerts from Nebraska Athletics. Text Huskers to 83200 to get game time notifications and updates, breaking news, special ticket offers, and more straight to your phone. All the Husker news is just a quick text away. Just text Huskers to 83200. Standard text messaging rates apply and may vary by carrier.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks, foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it is safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief, nutrition, or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health. Find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Don't let the cold winter worry you. As Nebraska's leading supplier of propane, you can count on Sapp Brothers to keep your family warm this winter. You're like family. And your safety is the number one priority of Sapp Brothers. When it comes to your propane needs, Sapp Brothers has you covered. Visit www.sappbros.net/petroleum to find your local Sapp Brothers propane expert. Celebrating 50 years of fueling America's heartland and welcoming guests, Sapp Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Husker Athletics.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
You already got the hat, the jersey, maybe even the occasional red and white face paint. So kick things off right this season and add the FNBO Husker Visa debit card to the list. Pay loud and proud for every Husker decal, t-shirt, or hot dog at the game. Wear your heart on your sleeve and in your wallet with the Husker Visa debit card, free with any checking account from FNBO, the bank of Husker Nation. Get yours today at fnbo.com/Huskers. Member FDIC.
Make it custom, make it yours. Right now at Woodhouse Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Blair, you can get up to $2,500 off MSRP when you place a custom 2022 Ram 2500 or 3500 order during Ram Truck Month. Get $1,000 off MSRP when you custom order. Plus, with a qualifying trade-in, get an additional $1,000 off. Business owners get an additional $500 off. Shop Ram Truck Month online at WoodhouseChryslerJeepDodge.com.
Buckle up, put that phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. Final few minutes of hour number one. Notice today on social media, a lot of the Husker football coaches are out and about doing some recruiting. A couple of them are up in some Omaha schools, some of the Lincoln schools. It is go time for those guys now that spring ball's done. They can go out and about and go see kids.
And June's a big month, too, for kids to come on campus, and then July is dead. So, yeah, it's amped up from here until, July 1st? Is it that?
It's late. It may be. It's some sort of late June. I'm not sure what the exact cutoff day. And then they all go on vacation.
Yep. Get a little breather before it's go time for fall camp.
Now, the one guy that can't go out right now is the head coach. They're not allowed to go. All assistants can. The head coaches can't. We thought we had Scott Frost locked in for tonight, right?
Yes.
But it's been moved to next week. Tentatively Monday night for the head coach to talk to us for an hour, talk about spring ball, talk about what he saw, what's going on with the program, how the interfacing of the new coaches came together for this staff. So look for that on Monday's show, the head coach talking to us. We usually get a wrap-up with him after spring football practice. Probably nice for him to not have to go hit the road. I mean, there's so many other things you do as the head coach that the assistants don't have to worry about. Probably nice for him to not have to do that.
Yeah, and just again, I mean, you hear Trev talking about it last night, the new role he's in, kind of being the CEO, but lots of things like that to address. And I do think kids can still come on campus right now, too. Even, I mean, I know the big visits are in June, but they can still come on campus now, too. So a lot of that, I'm sure, and coordinating that. And I think still some additions maybe to the staff and in other areas that they might be working on as well.
You know, they added to that recruiting staff a little bit in the last couple of months and kind of tweaking this and that. And, you know, there's always things changing around a football program. It never really stops. And you know, next thing you know, we're going to be heading to Ireland, getting ready for that Northwestern game against the Wildcats. Huskers, and Trev said this last night, Jessica, in Nebraska, right now, there's still a few spring games around the country that haven't happened yet, but right now we have the third highest attended spring game in the country.
Wow.
Pretty
Not
cool.
surprising by any means. And, you know, again, I was down there on the sideline and saw a lot of those recruits and them taking it in, and it's massive for recruiting for them to come to a spring game and see the kind of support that you get for a spring game, because it is not like this everywhere. I mean, I say it a lot, but I just came from Oklahoma. Their spring game wasn't that well attended, and there's a lot of places not even close to, even though 54,000, I know sometimes there's more than that, but that's a lot of people for a spring game, a scrimmage that show up to see their Huskers, and that's big for those recruits to see that.
I think the number was for football about 80 prospective student athletes here that day. Fred Hoiberg had a big recruit in town that day. I don't know if John Cook did. You said you saw Cooker down
I
on the
didn't see him
sidelines.
with a recruit, but I just saw him walking down there. So, but you know, seeing those recruits, they were all in on the position coaches that were coaching up those players, and so getting a little feel for what it's like to be coached by those guys. I mean, it's just a big opportunity for them to get a feel for it.
Our Sports Sunday Hotline is brought to you by the Woodhouse Auto Family. Shop Woodhouse first. 18 brands, 16 convenient locations, simplified car buying to save you time. Shop finance. Buy online at woodhouse.com. We're going to tell you the story of Aces Place, the new playground at Bowlin Stadium for Huskers softball. Tragic story behind it that maybe something can put some smiles on people's. Take something bad, try to spin it into something that at least you can smile about. We'll tell you that story, and we'll hear from Chuck Schmelka, Husker men's gymnastics coach. Huskers finished 4th in the country after their performance last weekend in the NCAA championships. All that and more coming up next hour. Come on back.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Rise above the sea of sameness and shop the Lincoln Corsair at Woodhouse Lincoln, the Omaha Metro's exclusive Lincoln dealer. The Lincoln Corsair has seating for 5 and integrated technology features that deliver the functionality you need. With an expressive aesthetic and luxurious interior, the Lincoln Corsair is quiet luxury redefined. Visit us in store off 144th and Giles Road at Woodhouse Place or online at woodhouselincoln.com.
Celebrating 50 years in the commercial real estate development industry in Omaha and nationwide, Noddle Companies is proud to continue its tradition of supporting Husker athletics. Check out what's new in Omaha, which includes revolving recreation and the food hall at Zone 6 in Exarban Village. Another exciting project coming soon are the Blackstone Urban Row townhomes. Noddle Companies, creating long-term value through community development. For more information, visit noddlecompanies.com. Go Big Red.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm journalism student Grace Fitzgibbon with Campus News. Nebraska's new collaborative biosecurity lab is leading research to safeguard America's food supply against growing threats in partnership with the U.S. Departments of Defense and Homeland Security. The lab brings together world-leading expertise in agriculture and a deep understanding of the complexities of strategic deterrence across the threat spectrum and in multiple domains.
Hy-Vee Mealtime to Go is mealtime made easy. Just order delicious meals online for convenient curbside pickup or have it delivered. Want breakfast? Hy-Vee Mealtime to Go. Need lunch? Hy-Vee Mealtime to Go. Doing dinner? Hy-Vee Mealtime to Go. Get pancakes, burgers, fried chicken, lasagna, Hai-Chai Asian dishes, sushi, pizza, and more. If you're craving it, Hy-Vee Mealtime to Go has it with curbside pickup or delivery. Order today at Hy-Vee.com/mealtime.
Good evening, I'm Greg Sharpe. Here's tonight's sports ticker. Huskers softball streak of 18 consecutive wins has caught the attention of all the polls. D1 softball has the Huskers at number 21. The coaches poll, number 25. The Huskers back in action Friday at Wisconsin. First pitch at 5 o'clock. Husker baseball's Cody Frank named today the Big Ten's pitcher of the week. The senior righty threw 6 2/3 shutout ball last Thursday in the Huskers' 1-0 win over BYU. Frank only allowed 1 hit and had 7 strikeouts. On the Big Ten scoreboard today, Rutgers continues to roll along. They blasted Iona 19-1. Maryland in 10 innings beat Towson 4-3. Northwestern 8-5 winners over St. Louis. Top of the 6th, Marshall leads Ohio State 5-2. Bottom of the 6th, Indiana State drilling Illinois 11-1. Bottom of the 4th, Michigan State leads Oakland 3-1. Top of the 3rd, it is St. Thomas over Minnesota 4-0. Illinois, Chicago leading Purdue 5-3 in the 3rd. Later tonight, Bradley and Iowa. Check of the Major League Baseball scoreboard. Finals from this afternoon. It was the Nationals over the Diamondbacks 6-1 in Game 1 of a doubleheader. Also Game 1 of a doubleheader, the Mets beat the Giants 5-4. Cardinals lead the Marlins 4-0 in the 5th. Yankees ahead of the Tigers 3-2 there in the 2nd. No score in Game 2 of that Nationals Diamondbacks doubleheader there in the bottom of the 4th. The Blue Jays lead the Red Sox 1-0 as they go to the 3rd inning. And the rest of the baseball tonight under the lights. 3 NBA playoff games going on tonight. First one's underway. The end of the first quarter, the Miami Heat, who lead the series 1 over the Hawks, lead by 1. 26-25. Later tonight, Minnesota at Memphis, and New Orleans is out in Phoenix. That's the ticker. I'm Greg Sharpe.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who reminds you to buckle up and put the phone down.
1-1, the count to Ibarra. 1 out. Peace delivers. Ibarra swings and hits a high fly ball. Right field and deep. Evans all the way back, but it's gone. Cami Ibarra with her 8th home run of the year.
2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. Another 1-2-3 inning for Cody Frank.
11th's first one. And Glatter swings and lets a high fly ball. Left center and deep. It's gone and we're tied. Grand slam Glatter. We're tied at 8.
The 2-1 pitch. Anderson lifts one in the air to right. That's hit well. Backing up to Sapiti. He's to the wall and it is gone. Max Anderson busts loose with a solo shot to right.
1 on, 1 out for Maya Felder. First one to Maya. She swings and blasts it. Deep left center field. And it is gone. It's gone. The Huskers have taken the lead. They've come back from the dead down 7 and take the lead in the 6th.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
Thank you. We're back. Hour number 2 of our Tuesday night show. Going to talk a little Husker softball here in a few minutes. And men's gymnastics. Their season came to a conclusion on Saturday. They finished 4th in the NCAA championships. Head coach Chuck Schmelka to be here to talk about that. As always, phone lines, text lines open and available for you. 402-413-2400. The number for you to either fire off a text or a phone call here tonight. Just remarkable about this Husker softball team. I told you a couple days ago, I think it's the best story for Husker sports this year, and that's saying something when you have a volleyball team that makes the national championship game, you have a women's basketball team that makes the NCAA tournament, but 18 in a row, first place in the league, this is a remark, and it wasn't really expected at all.
Yeah, and I mean, you said it, just for a diamond sport to win that many, it's really, really hard to do, to win 18 in a row. I mean, that's just not, so many things can go wrong. You can have different elements that play into it. So for them to put 18 in a row and then to be down 8-1, they could have folded up the tent and said, hey, we've won the series. We've got a big lead in the Big Ten, but no, they fought back. And it's really, really special because, you in my time covering sports, college athletics, I mean, the most special teams are the ones that are the tightest and have the best chemistry. And this team absolutely has that. I mean, last night you were on with Trev and Coach Bolt, and I went with the softball team on their day off. They went to a nursing home to volunteer their time, and they were all there, spent a lot of time. They have a pen pal program. They do a lot of things off the field too that they're just really, really close, and they really, really like each other, and they want to go to battle for each other. It's a special dynamic that has absolutely played into them wanting to play for each other and fight for each other and figure out a way to win for each other.
And they're not just winning. They're mashing some people.
Yes.
And their offense, a lot of the main categories are near the top in the country offensively. It's legit what they've been doing the last 3 weeks.
And it's so easy to talk about what they've done, with their bats, but defensively, they're among the best in the nation, too. They're among the best in the Big Ten. They lead the Big Ten in several defensive statistics, but then they're also among the nation's best in a number of those as well. And then you throw in what they've done pitching, too, but it is all phases that they are really coming together and figuring out a way to make this thing special, because it takes all of that, because there are so many teams that if you look at, maybe they're really good at one thing, they've got a really, really good pitcher that dominates, or maybe they got some really, really good hitters that dominate, but other areas maybe not so much. But this is a really well-rounded team in all three phases.
Sure is. Olivia Farrell has taken her level she's gone to another level pitching. She's not been this really her entire career, but she's elevated her play. Billy Andrews is slamming the. I mean, they're all doing great things offensively. There's multiple people that can hit it out of the park.
Well, and you look even at the end of the lineup that you got Brooke Andrews, who was batting 9 last week, and that's like basically having another leadoff hitter at the 9 hole that you can just turn the lineup over at any point, and it is 1 through 9. I mean, Caitlin Neal, the way she stepped up. I mean, how many RBIs did she have over the last week? Like 12 or 13 or something like that. I mean,
Abby Squires had moments where she's been really good.
It's literally everybody. They just pass the bat and they figure out a way to stay aggressive, but not do too much. And they're taking what they get. If it's a walk, and then the next person is okay, it's your turn. You hit me in this time, and they're not worried about their own statistics. I mean, whatever they got to do to help the team win. And, hopefully they keep that going and stay locked into that, which seems to been trying to have somebody on every single week. And the message is the same. And it seems like it's kind of translating to everybody on the team that it's one game at a time. We're not even thinking about that we've won 18 in a row. It doesn't matter what we did in the past. It doesn't matter what we do tomorrow. Only thing that we got to worry about is what we do today. And that's what's really been really beneficial for this team.
Now, this past weekend, they had the home series with Minnesota, and there is a new addition out there at Bowling Stadium, and it's a playground on past left field out there. And this has an interesting story. Lay this out for everybody.
Yeah, so they had a special ribbon cutting ceremony on Saturday, and Maddie Fowler-Burkhart was really instrumental in helping raise the funds for this. But it was really neat to see all the people that came together. I mean, Eric Church's company helped build the playground, but you'd seen it building and being kind of risen for a while, and they had the official opening of it last weekend, so on Saturday, and it was kind of chilly. I mean, you said it, but there's a great crowd out there. They all released balloons, but it was built to honor Ace Mowdy, the son of Mike and Megan Mowdy, who both played. Mike played football here, Megan played softball here, and on his last day before he passed away, he went to a softball game and he was running around, and Maddie talked about that in the speech laying out during the ceremony about how he was running around right out there on the berm where the playground ended up being built, and just it kind of evolved into what they wanted it to be. But it was so cool to see all the kids running out there and getting to play in it, and I got a chance to visit with Mike and Megan right after they had the ribbon cutting ceremony. Official ribbon cutting today. How special was this today?
It was just incredible seeing everyone come out here and support the opening and the project. I mean, it's been a long road coming here, but now that it's here, it's a blessing, that's for sure.
What do you guys think of the playground, the final product?
Oh my gosh, it's just so exciting to finally see it in person, and JJ licked it, so it's officially all broken in and ready to get played on.
Can you guys take me through the process of going through the plan to put a playground here at the softball park?
It was just so awesome because it started like an idea of a bench or a plaque, and then it just became so much higher, a bigger idea, and we're just so excited that we have a permanent place to just honor our son and come down. And obviously we have such a connection to the athletics and department, and it's excited just to have somewhere to go and honor Ace.
Yeah, what did it mean to you guys that, as both former players here, that so many people came together to make this project happen?
I mean, it's really a testament to the state of Nebraska as a whole, but definitely the university. Just seeing all the departments come together and support us kind of from the top down, and then the grassroots of kind of campaigning and raising those funds and getting things going, and seeing the community involvement was incredible in itself. So we're blessed, and I think it's going to be something that people can enjoy for years to come. So it's going to be a great thing.
It also just shows like what a family, Husker athletics is. We hadn't been back for a game, and since I think I played, and just how they just really embraced us during the hardest time of our life was really special.
What do you think Ace would think of the playground?
Oh, I think he would just be going wild. I mean, the day we took him down here, he was running like a crazy man all over, so he would definitely be knocking kids over and going down that slide multiple times.
What does it mean to you to be able to come here and see this and in his honor?
It's incredible. I mean, we've got the memory of Ace alive, and it's great seeing him in our second born here, Jace, and being able to see him kind of enjoy what his brother would love and do it on the exact same spot. It's amazing in itself.
It was just really special, and what a cool way to honor Ace, but also, so many kids are going to be able to play there, and it's such a family kind of outing when you go to a softball game, and so for little kids to be able to utilize that, but then also to honor Ace and have that be in his name, what a cool moment. And you heard him talking about how the Nebraska family was there for them during their hardest time and whatever they could do to help them through it.
Great story. Way to take something that's so tragic and so impactful for them and to turn it where something that they can smile and reflect back on. Really cool.
It's just important for them to have that, and it just meant so much to them, and it just speaks volumes. I know I'm still pretty new here, but it just, to me, is just so representative of what this place is, about how so many different people came together to make it happen, and it was really special to see. And then they let red balloons go right when they cut the ribbon, and to see those go up into the air, I had chills, and it was awesome to see.
Great crowd. The Chancellor was there. Trev was there. It was great.
Everybody was there, and then got to see the Huskers really just light up the scoreboard.
Ended in 5 innings. They run ruled
11-0 that day, and so it was just what a weekend from start to finish for Nebraska softball.
Very cool. Very neat stuff, and a great story, and what a nice tribute to that little boy. Let's go to the phones. Husker Dan up in West Point. Good evening, Dan. How are you?
Hey, good evening, Jessica and Greg. How are you guys tonight?
Good, Dan. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, and I just want to say kudos to the Husker softball team. It's about time they got ranked.
Yeah, for sure.
And my question is, okay, since they've got 18 wins going, is that a national streak record going?
It's funny you asked that. So Oklahoma had that streak. I think it was at 41, but they got beat on Sunday. So I thought, oh, well, maybe it is Nebraska. But Arizona State has won 20 in a row. So Nebraska currently with the second longest win streak in the country. And I was trying to look. Arizona State has Stanford. They're at Stanford this weekend. Then they have Cal. But, yeah, so right now the only longer winning streak than Nebraska's is Arizona State's.
Okay, awesome. Hey, you guys just had that thing going on with the playground equipment and Ace and the little boy that passed away. And I saw that on social media, and I tell you what, it was so impressive for all the dignitaries to be there and dedicate that playground equipment. And, after watching that, I really got choked up, and I don't even know these people. And I just think this is Nebraska. This is what we're all about. And I just, wow, I just can't say enough about that. And I'll let you guys elaborate on this a little bit, but it just blew me away.
Thanks, Dan. Appreciate the call. You're absolutely right. If you don't have a little lump in your throat after hearing that story, you're not alive, because Absolutely. It's a really touching thing.
Yeah, I mean, something like you said was so tragic. It was such, so hard and so awful. And they said that it was the hardest time of our lives. And it was their Nebraska family that was there for them from start to finish. And hey, what can we do to honor Ace? And this thing grew from, you heard Megan talking about it was just going to be a little bench. And then here it is, just this awesome playground that Eric Church helped build and they raised the funds for. And so many, Maddie Fowler Burkhardt, who played softball, helped raise it. So many people that came together to make it happen, and the people that were on hand there to celebrate it. It really was. I mean, just could not have been more perfect of the way that it came together and to honor a special family and turn something that was so tragic into something positive that can continue to be a light for people from here on out. And what a cool playground. I mean, it is an awesome playground. The kids are going to love playing on that thing.
Sure is. Art in Los Angeles on our text line says, guys, the softball team is going to be in postseason play. Is there a women's CWS for softball? How does it work? What city is it in? Can you explain postseason for softball?
Yeah, so it's in Oklahoma City every single year, kind of like how baseball's always in Omaha. The Women's College World Series is always in Oklahoma City. And, so right now I think they've got to be pretty close to being for sure into the postseason,
I think they're
right?
a lock.
Yeah. So, but now they're kind of fighting for where that seeding goes and where they might end up, and maybe even potentially hosting regional. But it's very similar to baseball, right? Exact same thing. They have, 4 teams,
4-team regionals,
4-team regional, and then the 2 advance to play best of 3
super regionals
for the super regional to advance to make the 8 top teams make it into the World Series, Women's College World Series.
So there you go. That's how it lays out. And we drove by that complex in Oklahoma City a month or so ago. They've really added on to that thing. It's monstrous now.
Yeah, it was part of a few years back when they re-signed the deal to keep it there in Oklahoma City. They've added on to it more seating. The locker rooms. They've done a lot of work, and it's still going. It's ongoing. They've continued to try to improve that facility, but it's a lot. It's so similar to what's going on in Omaha, where it's what is known for college baseball, right? And everybody travels. A lot of people go there. They plan their vacation around it, whether your team's in it or not. And it's just become, even the teams that, even though Oklahoma and Oklahoma State have been in it, and a lot of their fans go to it, even the teams that have to travel a long ways love having it there, because it's where you go to play the Women's College World Series. And it's become such an event, and it's so well attended, and it's grown and grown and grown. I mean, the viewership numbers broke records a year ago, so the game continues to grow, and it's Oklahoma City's just kind of become a part of college softball, just like it's like the road to Oklahoma City, like it is the road to Omaha.
Huskers have been there a couple times. It's been a while, but they've been there a few times. The biggest problem they have there is the thunderstorms that roll through late afternoon almost every day.
Which, again, last year was a problem, and they had talked about the athlete well-being, because with the college baseball, they have it spread out to where you don't play every single day. Teams don't have to bounce right back and play those. And so softball had that where they had a delay, and they were going to have to play late into the night, and they ended up, tweaking it and pushing it back a day. So hopefully they'll continue to manage that, where they can build in those days if something like a thunderstorm happens.
Very good. Hey, our Sports Sunday Hotline is brought to you by the Woodhouse Auto Family. Shop Woodhouse first, 18 brands, 16 convenient locations. Simplified car buying to save you time. Shop finance, buy online at woodhouse.com. We're back to talk some Husker men's gymnastics. Head coach Chuck Schmelko will join us next.
When you've escaped the screens and the sun bathes everything in a golden glow, and your friend hands you a cold organic beer that tastes as perfect as nature itself, that's pure gold. Michelob Ultra Pure Gold, the first national USDA certified organic beer. Organic by nature. Enjoy responsibly. 2020 Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Pure Gold, St. Louis, Missouri.
At Nebraska, our people will always be our greatest asset. Day by day, donors give our teams the best opportunity to compete and win through their generous donations. Our vision for the future is ambitious and requires help from those who want to see Husker athletics excel at the highest level. Go big and join thousands of other Huskers Athletic Fund members with your gift today at huskers.com/donate.
Hey folks, this is Famous Dave. You know the difference between an ordinary get-together and a famous one? At most parties, the food's pretty forgettable. But imagine your table loaded with award-winning barbecue, chopped pork sandwiches, roasted chicken, and mouth-watering juicy ribs. From birthdays to corporate events, any size groups, we'll customize our menu to fit your budget. Make your next get-together fun and famous with catering from Famous Dave's. Visit famousdaves.com.
Successful farmers must make good decisions every day. In pivot irrigation, the choice is simple. T&L exclusive hydraulically powered pivot irrigation systems are like no other. You get tough, reliable, and cost-effective irrigation. Let T&L's 60 years of irrigation experience work for you. Call your local T&L dealer or T&L Irrigation Company today. T&L, like no other.
Searching for your next vehicle? Shop Woodhouse first. Over 1,000 pre-owned vehicles in stock and on our lots, with new trades arriving daily that you can explore on woodhouse.com. Plus, confidence comes standard when you purchase a pre-owned car, truck, or SUV from Woodhouse. With our multi-point inspection, transparent pricing, available add-on warranties, and financing options, purchasing a pre-owned vehicle has never been simpler. Experience the difference and drive away today confident and road-ready in your new vehicle from Woodhouse.
The Nebraska FFA is growing leaders
and building communities.
Together, we are strengthening agriculture.
The Nebraska FFA Foundation believes in our future leaders and the communities they serve. We believe in the future of agriculture.
Join us in the I Believe in the Future of Ag campaign. Learn more at neffafoundation.org. Brought to you by Chief Industries, trusted, tested, true. And Country Partners Cooperative. Together, we can.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Hey folks, this is Famous Dave. You know the difference between an ordinary get-together and a famous one? At most parties, the food's pretty forgettable. But imagine your table loaded with award-winning barbecue, chopped pork sandwiches, roasted chicken, and mouth-watering juicy ribs. From birthdays to corporate events, any size groups, we'll customize our menu to fit your budget. Make your next get-together fun and famous with catering from Famous Dave's. Visit famousdaves.com.
Attention anyone standing near a mud puddle. Trucks and Bucks is back, so take cover. The Nebraska Lottery's most popular scratch game is roaring down the road again. And this year we're giving away 8 blue 2022 Ford F-150 XLT Super Crew Flex Fuel trucks. So buy a $2 Trucks and Bucks ticket today. You could win a new Ford F-150 and make a real splash in your neighborhood. Ford F-150 is a registered trademark owned and licensed by Ford Motor Company. Top prize odds 1 in 336,000.
A tradition of winning doesn't happen overnight. Like any team, you gotta be tough, play smart, and work hard. No one understands this more than Ford Motor Company. They built the best team in the game with Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks 45 years straight. The iconic Ford Bronco and the most powerful Ford Explorer ever. Shop online at buyfordnow.com or visit your local Ford dealer to buy or custom build the perfect truck or SUV for you. Based on 1977 to 2021 calendar year total sales.
If there's one thing that you can count on every spring, it's that we're going to have to deal with some hail. J-Tech Construction is the company to call to make it right again. J-Tech Construction specializes in siding, roofing, windows, and gutters, even solar. They're trained for insurance claims assistance, and they can help with your insurance company. Turn to the team the Huskers turn to, J-Tech Construction. Use your favorite search engine to find J-Tech Construction online and schedule a free estimate today.
The Huskers provide the best on the field, and so does Kubota. The new Kubota L60 Limited Edition Series provides the best package for affordability, quality, and comfort, like the deluxe Grand L factory-installed cab or spacious open operator station. Maximize performance with Kubota's best-in-class HST Plus transmission and many other features of the L60 LE Series. Experience the Kubota difference. Visit nebraska-kubota-dealers.com or see Nebraska Equipment in Seward or Grand Kubota in Grand Island.
There's nothing better than the smoky aroma of grilled beef at the ballpark. This
This is Anne Marie with the Nebraska Beef Council, reminding you to pick up a package of steaks or burgers for your next tailgate party. Whether you're setting up in the parking lot or cheering from home, nutritious beef is a home run choice when cheering on the Huskers. Visit beefitswhatsfordinner.com for delicious beef recipes, grilling tips, and tailgate inspirations. Beef, it's what's for dinner in Nebraska.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center. It's sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. We're back here on Sports Nightly on a Tuesday night over the weekend. Husker men's gymnastics team competed at the NCAA championships down in Norman, Oklahoma. Head coach Chuck Schmelko with us here today. Congratulations. 4th place finish nationally. You guys have just had a tremendous season. Congrats.
Thank you very much, Greg.
What was it like? And man, I just kept seeing routine after routine. Your guys just kept hitting it all night long.
And that's what we stressed. We knew we had a tough task ahead of us. We had to hit routines, and boy, did we ever. It was so fun. We got on that roll, and every now and then, the first guy hits, the second guy hits. By the 30th guy, you're just cruising, and it's so fun.
Is that contagious in that sport? We hear about this in other sports. Is it in gym?
Yes, totally. Just like missing is as well. And making mistakes, it kind of snowballs, we call it, and it keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. But yes, when you hit and you get that momentum going on your side, it's great. It's hard to stop.
6 straight years you've made the finals. Tell me about day one in Norman. I mean, some of the numbers were phenomenal on day one.
Truthfully, that's when I'm the most nervous, because if you mess up, it'll cost you getting into finals. But this year we've had, well, until the end, we got a couple guys banged up, but we were deep. We had a lot of good guys, and we figured the only way we would not get in finals is if we messed up badly and just shot ourselves in the foot. So the goal was to rest a couple guys for the finals, and then Coach Hartung says, why would you do that? Let's make sure we get in first. And I got to thinking about it. It's like, he's exactly right. So we changed our plan. We competed the exact same lineup both days in a row and just made sure that we hit to get in. And when you score your season high score at the NCAA prelims, you know you did something pretty special, because the judges are tough. They're fair, but they're strict, and we did a great job.
How did the team feel about the way you set the lineup? Were there some guys that didn't maybe want to do day one and save it all for the final night, or what was their reaction?
Yes, and a lot of that is me trying to just think things through and try to save some legs, save a shoulder maybe, whatever. But the guys, they were ready to go no matter what. And I feel bad for a couple of the guys that never got into the meet that I would have put in, but they were still part of that team, and they were a huge part of our success all season. So it's a total team effort. All 20 guys were great and had something to do with us getting 4th place.
Coach, 2 All-Americans. Let's start with your senior, Dylan King. Talk about his career, his year, and how he fared over the weekend.
You know, it's just been an honor and a privilege to coach him. I'll be honest with you. He's matured into one of the most special young men I ever have had. He is a great captain, a great team leader, and just a great person. And he's going to be one heck of an adult. Whatever he chooses to do, he's going to succeed at it. I'm so happy how he finished his career as an All-American, and he's been so steady all year, really all 4 years. And for him to finish like that, I just couldn't be more proud of him.
That's fantastic. You're the All-American, the junior, and that was Dante McKinney. Tell the folks a little bit about Dante.
Well, Dante, we recruited him heavily in high school, and then he decided to go to Minnesota. So that was kind of tough on us, but when they ended up dropping their program, he called immediately and said, if you still want me, I want to come. I'm like, yeah, we want you. And he's really talented young man. I think he will do even better next year. But again, he was an All-American on high bar last year for Minnesota. So now on vault, he could potentially do too. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, great kid, works hard, does everything asked of him, and super family.
Fantastic. The season, which began competitively back in January, I know in your sport you have to work at it all year round. You can't take much time off. What happens now? Do the guys get a little downtime? Probably need a little bit of that.
Yes, and I like when our schedule of NCAAs is here in the middle of April, because we got school to do. We have dead week next week, finals week, and a lot of them are a little behind. So this is a nice time for us just to say, stay out of the gym, concentrate only on school, get caught up, get going there, really do well on your finals, and then we'll pick it up again and get going in the summer.
Well, good. What an amazing meet. Stanford, I know, is they're just the big dogs right now in your sport. How has NIL maybe affected gymnastics, both on the men's and women's side? Some of those Olympians are now popping up on collegiate rosters. I don't think that would have happened before, some of all this.
I agree with you. Yes, it is. We're still not as big as some of the bigger sports, but they know that they have a chance to make some money, and if there's a way for us to help them do that, they'll start looking at us harder. Stanford right now, the school, the education, and then they have so many national team members that they all want to train together. So you combine all that, they're in the driver's seat right now, just like Oklahoma was a few years ago, just like we were in the 80s.
Yeah.
So all it takes, though, is a couple guys, and we just got to get a couple recruits that swing it the other way, swing it our way, and then we can do the same thing. And we're working hard on it right now, actually.
Michigan finished right ahead of you. They're kind of a rival right now for you,
Totally.
aren't they?
Totally.
Much?
Yes. They had three really good super seniors, we call them, come back from COVID, and they kind of carried that team. They do have some young guys that are good, but I think we have a decent chance next year maybe to get them. But they're very well coached. They're a very solid team, very good school. So it's always tough against those guys.
Where's your roster at, Coach, as it relates to the COVID year? Have you cycled through that yet? Do you still have some that are affected with all that?
No, we had Jake Benet stay,
okay,
and then he ended up tearing an ab muscle, so we couldn't have him at NCAAs, and that hurt us pretty bad for a few points anyway. But after that, now the COVID stuff is slowing up for us. We're not having, or it doesn't look like we're going to have any of our seniors stick around another year. They all have careers and plans for the future to go to. I'm trying to talk a couple into them staying, but I'm not faring so well. But we'll see. I'm not giving up just yet. So hopefully we could have one or two stick around, but I don't think we're going to, Greg. I think they're all moving on.
I understand that. Don't you? You probably get that too.
Yeah, they've done what they needed to do. They ended in a great place mentally and physically. It's time to move on sometimes.
Remind me, Coach, back in November, did you sign some individuals, or where are you at with recruiting for the next season?
We signed 6 really good kids. We're looking really forward to getting them here in the summer for Summer Bridge and get them kind of adjusted to college and get them in our gym and start training. So we're freshmen. You never know how they'll play out, but they're very good athletes. So we'll see what happens.
We had Coach Bolton here the other day. We were talking about that Summer Bridge program. He thinks it's really valuable. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. I didn't do it the first couple of years because I just didn't understand it. And once we had one of our guys do it, we've never not had him do it now. It's unbelievable. And just the fact, it's great that we could train them and we get to know them gymnastically, but it's even better that they get to figure out what it's like to go to college and study, and what Dennis LeBlanc and all those guys do with those guys. It helps them adjust to college kind of just with only them around and not the whole campus around. So it's huge for what we're doing. Very important.
There's a nice feel around here in the summer. It is. It's a college experience, but it's not the full-blown thing that they get in the fall.
There's only a few people here, and it's really select, and they really, I don't know, they just learn and mature in that. It's wonderful.
Yeah. Trev Alberts had his monthly show last night. He mentioned the Night at the Lead. It's a big celebration coming up this weekend where you honor student athletes for both what they do academically and athletically as well. What is that night like for athletes and coaches on staff?
It's really special, really. It's because here we are now, athletes most of the time. Now this is everything. Students, life skills, maybe student athlete of the year, but more importantly, just academics and that side of it. So it brings out the true student athlete, not just one who maybe excels in sport. This is everything. So it's really nice.
Well, cool. We'll look forward to that on Sunday night. Congratulations again. I know that you're smiling, and you should be. Your guys really rose their level of competition up when they needed to the most, and it was really fun to watch.
Thank you, Greg. Sure appreciate it.
There he is, Chuck Schmelka, Husker men's gymnastics coach, with us here on Sports Nightly. Buckle up, put that phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. We have more of the show coming up next.
Valley 365 is here, and the time is now to take your farming technology full circle. Valley 365 is the ultimate command center, the new single sign-on platform that brings together our tried and true technology and streamlines your entire operation. Combining the best features of AgSense, Valley Scheduling, Valley VRI, and Valley Insights, Valley 365 is the next level solution for connected crop management. Leverage your data, make the most of your time, and own your tomorrow. Contact your Valley dealer today.
Welcome to Ag Answers. Today we're talking about renewable biofuels like corn ethanol and soy biodiesel. Electric vehicles continue to make headlines as we look for ways to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. But did you know by using ethanol, you can reduce greenhouse gas emissions by up to 46% compared to traditional gasoline, and by up to 86% when you use biodiesel compared to petroleum diesel? Locally produced biofuels are the here and now solution to combating climate change. They are good for our air, good for our wallets, and good for Nebraska. This message is brought to you by Nebraska's corn and soybean farmers.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm journalism student Grace Fitzgibbon with Campus News. Nebraska researchers are designing the next generation of roadside steel barriers through an industry partnership with Trafix Devices. This partnership has produced the Delta Crash Cushion, a simplistic, effective way to keep drivers safe on highways. This barrier is vital for roadside safety and significantly improves the chances motorists will be able to walk away from roadside collisions.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. Everett swings and hammers one to deep left center field. That is trouble, and that is gone. Griffin Everett gets a hold of one to left center, and the Huskers get the lead right back on the two-run shot.
Tomorrow, Nebraska baseball is taking on North Dakota State at Haymarket Park with first pitch set for 6:35 p.m. Central. Pre-game coverage on the Huskers radio network begins at 6. Tune into your local affiliate or at Huskers.com or by using the Huskers mobile app. Go Big Red.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Welcome to Ag Answers, where we answer common questions related to farming and ranching. Today we're tackling the issue of GMOs, or genetically modified organisms. GMOs may sound scary, but they're actually benefiting our environment and consumers. That's because GMO crops help solve specific problems like insects, food waste, and droughts. By selecting good traits from one plant or organism and adding them to another, farmers are safely using science to produce high-quality foods better than ever before. This message is brought to you by Nebraska's corn and soybean farmers.
Celebrating 50 years in the commercial real estate development industry in Omaha and nationwide, Noddle Companies is proud to continue its tradition of supporting Husker athletics. Check out what's new in Omaha, which includes revolving recreation and the food hall at Zone 6 in Exarban Village. Another exciting project coming soon are the Blackstone Urban Row townhomes. Noddle Companies, creating long-term value through community development. For more information, visit noddlecompanies.com. Go Big Red.
Monday nights are now famous for something else. Powerball. That's right, Powerball is adding Monday nights to the lineup so you have more days to play. Plus, with a starting jackpot in the millions, you don't want to pass up this chance to score a bundle of money. Get pumped for Powerball with drawings Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday.
Powerball from the Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds 1 in 292 million.
Be a good day for her to lift one down the line again. Lecker to the line, the 1-0. Neal swings and blasts this one. Deep right field. Connor going back. It's gone. A grand slam for Caitlin Neal. And the Huskers lead 7-0. Nebraska softball heads to Madison to take on Wisconsin Friday. Pre-game coverage begins at 4:50. First pitch at 5 on the Huskers radio network, Huskers.com, and the official Nebraska Athletics app.
Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer opens like every other seltzer, pours like every other seltzer, but it's not like every other seltzer. USDA certified organic, no added sugar, and low cal, so you've never seen another seltzer quite like it. And with new refreshing flavors like black cherry and watermelon strawberry, you've never tasted one like it either. Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer, as real as it tastes. Enjoy responsibly, not a low-calorie food. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer, IRC Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
They say if you listen hard enough, you can hear the corn grow. It's true. When you're out in the field, you understand its challenges and what it needs to thrive. Channel Seedsmen bring insights from the field to our team of Bayer plant breeders. Their knowledge inspires our product development. From your best ground to your most challenging conditions, our products are designed to perform in your fields. Visit channellistens.com to see our latest innovations. Always read and follow IRM where applicable, grain marketing and all other stewardship practices and pesticide label directions.
Time to see what's on tap, presented by Bud Light. Husker baseball tomorrow night will take on the Bison of North Dakota State. It'll be at Haymarket Park, 6:35 for pregame coverage, or first pitch, 6 o'clock for pregame coverage. Then the Huskers are off to Bloomington to take on Indiana for a weekend series, 6 o'clock Friday night, first pitch, 5:30 for pregame coverage. Husker softball off to Madison, Wisconsin. They'll take on the Badgers, 3-game series, 5 o'clock on Friday for game 1 of that series. That's what's on tap, presented by Bud Light. I also should mention Husker volleyball will take on the Kansas Jayhawks in Grand Island on Saturday. Pregame coverage at 4:45. The first serve will be at 5:15. Callie Schwarzenbach, who's going to be leaving the Husker program at the end of the semester, she's going to transfer to Long Beach State to play, may play in the scrimmage this week because Kayla Caffey still does not know her status, whether the NCAA is going to extend her a 7th year of eligibility. That came out of today's little volleyball press gathering. Also, it is John Cook's birthday.
Happy birthday, Coach Cook.
There you go.
Some applause back there in the background.
Maisie Bosinger, member of the volleyball squad, made him a carrot cake. Apparently that is his favorite.
Carrot cake, okay.
John Cook is a fan of carrot cake. We'll have to remember that. Carrot cake for John Cook. See, you learned something about Coach Cook here tonight.
But we have some birthday celebrations on the pod. Kicking back with the Cooks tomorrow.
Got to be, right?
Hopefully his daughter doesn't forget that it was his birthday.
I don't think she will. I think Lauren will be all over that. So Coach Cook did meet with the media after their workout today. After this scrimmage on Saturday, that will wrap up their spring. They will then get a few weeks off before they start their training. We should be getting, Jessica, pretty soon, the volleyball non-conference schedule. Usually comes out late April, early May. We should be getting that quick.
Man, this year has just flown by so quickly. But, even though they are, quote-unquote, off, I remember last year talking with Nicklin about it. It's kind of like with the quarterbacks and wide receivers getting in there and throwing and on their own. Those setters and hitters will be getting in there doing their own separate work. I mean, they'll be putting in the work, a lot of work over the summer.
You talk about these athletes and you think, oh, when their season ends, they're done for quite a while. Like I noticed today, I think women's basketball had a practice, a shoot-around type thing. So they're already back on the court doing drills.
Yeah, and a lot of I think both basketball teams are doing individual workouts because that's part of what is allowed during this time right now is those individual or small group workouts. You can't have, and there's just so many different rules with different teams, but I don't think you can have a full team out there yet, but you can have either one-on-ones or maybe 3-on-1s or something like that you can have. But nowadays, pretty much basketball is year-round. I mean, it is all throughout, and it'll be fascinating to see with the new rule with the NCAA now that the coaches can meet with with the football out there, what that does, and when we start seeing that come into effect.
We were talking with Coach Schmelka after the interview, and I said, in your sport, they can't take much time off, or you'll lose your
strength, your flexibility, all of it. Like you take off like a week, and I've talked to gymnasts before that you have to work yourself back into it even after taking off a week. I mean, you cannot, because you lose that flexibility and that strength and really, really quickly.
Yeah.
So
the men's side is so much more, it's strength oriented with the rings and the different apparatuses that they use, and the women, personally, I find it more pleasing to watch the women. I just think there's more fluid. And I'm not trying to belittle the men because it's amazing what they do on some of those things, but it's just a different thing to the eye.
And I also think it's easier to follow with the scoring. The women's is on a 10-0 scale, it's easier for us to understand, all right, that's a 9-9-9, whatever that might be. But the men's goes
like
up to the
15, 16.
But then different events are scored differently. So, even it went down to the end the other night on Saturday, but Nebraska was on the high bar. But the commentators were talking, and those are both all Olympians, were talking about, well, the high bar is just not a high-scoring event. So, and the vault is a high-scoring event, which Michigan was on the vault. And so Nebraska really had no chance to keep up with Michigan because they were on the high bar as opposed to being on the vault. To me, that doesn't make sense either, and that doesn't help the growth of the sport. It should be, with the women, all this events are scored the same, and they're not. The vault isn't a higher scoring than the parallel bar or the parallel bars or the any of that. It's all the same, and that's to me what the men's event should be as well.
I asked Chuck about this. I asked Trev about this last night. The night at the Lead, which is a big end-of-year celebration for student athletes. They recognize their academic work, their life skills work, and their performances on the court or the field or whatever it may be for their particular sport. That's coming up on Sunday. You looking forward to that?
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm going to help out with the presentation of it, but I guess we could talk a little bit about it on Thursday because I think some of those nominees are going to come out. But it'd be fun to hear what our listeners think about who they would vote for as the male athlete of the year, female athlete of the year, newcomer of the year. And then, they give away a lot of academic awards and community service, life skills, and academics come together. But, those are the four athletic awards that they give away are the male and female athlete and the male and female newcomer.
It's a big deal for those teams to win the life skills award because they'll go boast. We won it this year, so it's a prideful thing for whether it's men's golf or football can win it or volleyball, whoever wins it. It's a source of pride.
I think in the academics is a bragging thing too, because we had Bree Cassidy on for a podcast conversation earlier, and she talked about how important the academic part was for her. She's a first-generation college student, and that when you come in here, it's the standard, and you are expected to maintain that standard. And so, they push each other and they challenge each other, and just the resources that are here, I think, they're competitive all around. And there's just such an emphasis on being a well-rounded student athlete here that all of those things matter and are important to these student athletes.
It's too bad because both softball and baseball are gone this weekend.
Yeah.
Both on the road.
It's hard because it's when would you do it? You can't do it in the summer because everybody's gone. You can't do it in the fall. And so, you
have to pick a weekend and go with it.
And golf, probably a lot of times golf or tennis might miss as well if you have to do it in the spring.
Track's usually probably somewhere this time of year as well. That's coming up on Sunday. You'll be hearing more about that in the days to come. Our Sports Auto Hotline is brought to you by the Woodhouse Auto family. Shop Woodhouse first. 18 brands, 16 convenient locations. Simplified car buying to save you time. Shop finance. Buy online at woodhouse.com. 402-413-2400, the number to dial us up with a comment or question. We're back to wrap up tonight's show next.
A tradition of winning doesn't happen overnight. Like any team, you got to be tough, play smart, and work hard. No one understands this more than Ford Motor Company. They built the best team in the game with Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks 45 years straight. The iconic Ford Bronco and the most powerful Ford Explorer ever. Shop online at buyfordnow.com or visit your local Ford dealer to buy or custom build the perfect truck or SUV for you. Based on 1977 to 2021 calendar year total sales.
Attention anyone standing near a mud puddle. Trucks and Bucks is back, so take cover. The Nebraska Lottery's most popular scratch game is roaring down the road again. And this year we're giving away 8 blue 2022 Ford F-150 XLT Super Crew Flex Fuel trucks. So buy a $2 Trucks and Bucks ticket today. You could win a new Ford F-150 and make a real splash in your neighborhood. Ford F-150 is a registered trademark owned and licensed by Ford Motor Company. Top prize odds 1 in 336,000.
Congratulations, you're having a little girl.
At that moment, everything changed. Our hopes and dreams for ourselves were instantly replaced by our hopes and dreams for her. We got life insurance policies from Shelter Insurance, so that regardless of what life throws at us, we'll still be able to provide the world to her.
Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
See shelter agents Tanya Blaine or Jesse Dunbar in Norfolk or Agent Bud Morrell in Ogallala.
You already got the hat, the jersey, maybe even the occasional red and white face paint. So kick things off right this season and add the FNBO Husker Visa debit card to the list. Pay loud and proud for every Husker decal, t-shirt, or hot dog at the game. Wear your heart on your sleeve and in your wallet with the Husker Visa debit card, free with any checking account from FNBO, the bank of Husker Nation. Get yours today at fnbo.com/Huskers. Member FDIC.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Hey folks, this is Famous Dave. You know the difference between an ordinary get-together and a famous one? At most parties, the food's pretty forgettable. But imagine your table loaded with award-winning barbecue, chopped pork sandwiches, roasted chicken, and mouth-watering juicy ribs. From birthdays to corporate events, any size groups, we'll customize our menu to fit your budget. Make your next get-together fun and famous with catering from Famous Dave's. Visit famousdaves.com.
Whether you compete on the court, at the track, on the field, or in the fields, winning isn't just a goal. It's a mindset, shaped, honed, and defined throughout the season. That's why farmers pushing themselves to be the best plant DeKalb brand corn. Wherever you compete, winning has roots. Perform at your best with DeKalb. Always read and follow grain marketing and all other stewardship practices and pesticide label directions.
Our Sports Nightly Hotline brought to you by the Woodhouse Auto Family. Shop Woodhouse first 18 brands, 16 convenient locations. We're broadcasting from our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center. It's sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you. Final few minutes of this show tonight. It's my last show of the night. We have baseball tomorrow, baseball Friday. I'm traveling on Thursday, but you're putting together a heck of a lineup for Thursday night.
Yeah, excited. We're gonna heavy focus on the ladies on Thursday. We're gonna have a lot of softball talk. We have Coach Ravel and Sydney Gray in, and then we'll have Lindsay Krause hopefully live in studio, and Bree Cassidy. I'm excited. I talked to her today for the podcast that'll be dropping tomorrow morning, but had a long conversation with her about all the NIL. We saw the marketplace launch with Open Doors, and then plus she has such a great perspective of the insides of this softball program and the making. She's followed it closely, and so a lot of talk about that as well. So yeah, it should be fun.
Looking forward to that. That'll be Thursday night show. And again, baseball tomorrow, baseball Friday. Monday, we believe we're going to have the head football coach here for an hour on Monday night show to kind of recap spring, where things stand, where things are going. Should have a good time to talk to him about this, as he's not able to go recruit. Everybody else can. Head coach is not allowed to get out this time of year. I think that's probably okay. Those coaches do a lot of other different things, so he can sit back here, probably conducting, Jessica, a lot of those exit meetings. They're still making their way through. It takes a while to get through the entire roster, to go through, and haven't heard much about guys jumping in the portal yet. I still think there'll be a couple that go from Nebraska.
Yeah, I mean, I think we'll see it everywhere. And as you mentioned earlier, spring football is still currently in progress for a lot of programs across the country too. So I think we'll see another influx into that portal here coming up pretty soon. It's crazy to follow. It is probably going to keep staying that way for a while.
College basketball, knee deep into it right now, going through all that. Also, we're coming up fast on a deadline to put your name in for the NBA draft. Is in a couple days. So you got to be able to submit some paperwork for that. We know Bryce McGowan's is going to go in. I know Fred Hoiberg's probably chomping at the bit too to find out what Trey and Ladd are going to do.
Yeah, I mean, and good core coming back, and you got some additions that they're excited about, but I'm sure they want to get everything finalized and figure out what pieces they need or how to start putting things together for the current team. But yeah, expect hopefully a decision coming soon. We keep hanging on to it, and then you mentioned the NBA draft. Next week is NFL draft, so we'll find out where some of those Huskers are going for the next level.
Gotta be nervous, right? Those guys have to be nervous.
I mean, it's got to be like slow, like the slowest week of their life. It's such a long process, and finally almost there. And man,
so much work goes into it for all those guys. Great to see them all back for the spring game. Most of them were all back for the spring game. It was good to see all those guys. All right, have a great show on Thursday. Thanks to Jessica, to Andrew for running the ship on this one tonight. I'll talk to you tomorrow night from the ballpark. Have a great night. Go Big Red.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
There is no place like Nebraska, and there's no place that treats you like home like Sap Brothers. For 50 years, Sap Brothers has fueled America's heartland and been a reliable partner to local farms and Husker fans across Nebraska, providing the highest quality fuel, lubricants, and propane, servicing your farming equipment and welcoming guests into their travel centers. Visit www.sapbros.net. Sap Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Husker Athletics.
We make car buying easy at Woodhouse Chevy in Missouri Valley, Iowa, where we have a full lineup of cars, trucks, and SUVs. See what Chevy has to offer and explore the 2022 Equinox. This small SUV is thoughtfully designed to put you at the center of attention. Plus, versatility and comfort meet to make a bold first impression. Show your style through every mile and craft your Chevy your way. Find new roads in-store or online anytime at WoodhouseGM.com.
If there's one thing that you can count on every spring, it's that we're going to have to deal with some hail. J-Tech Construction is the company to call to make it right again. J-Tech Construction specializes in siding, roofing, windows, and gutters, even solar. They're trained for insurance claims assistance, and they can help with your insurance company. Turn to the team the Huskers turn to, J-Tech Construction. Use your favorite search engine to find J-Tech Construction online and schedule a free estimate today.
As the Huskers head to halftime, Frank is off the couch and headed for the fridge. Ooh, but he can't make it because he's so hot. The air conditioning is out again. But wait, he sees an opening. SOS! SOS, he screams and calls 391-2336. SOS Heating and Cooling, his favorite Luxair dealer. Boy, he made the right call today as SOS is already on the way. SOS is your trustworthy company since 1950, and with Luxair, you get free 10-year labor warranty with the new system. Call 391-2336.